chop that thing up later.
Yeah, man, that thing is awesome.
Oh, perfect.
Where y'all going?
You gonna be easy with the spot.
I'm quick. I got agility and I'm good at both.
Oh, you already started it too? Perfect.
Yeah, feel free to adjust it as necessary.
What y'all doing the whole day or like out? Full day. Alright. It's just like 20 something hours. I'm not just like that. Woo!
I'm disconnected. Someone's disconnected.
Just Apple.
No, I think it's the Kansas music.
Yeah.
Listen.
No, I got.
Apple TV needs iPad.
Oh.
All right, everybody. Okay. So, thank you all for coming in today. I'm really excited to work with you. And again, we've been meeting with you for the last couple of weeks. We've been working with you on understanding, basically connecting with you. And what I said earlier was, we really believe that inside every person lies a hero waiting to be born. Right? We all started as ordinary people, and we go on our own personal hero's journey through life, through struggles, to eventually bloom into who we can become. At Wonder Seed, we say the seeds that grow into the person that you are going to be. So with this, we're going to be walking you through this exercise. I'm going to show you, first of all, the template. And you've already taken a couple of steps to get started on this template, which is going to be the format of laying down your own hero's journey map. After I run through the template and show you what this looks like, I'm going to run you through my example, what I created this morning to show you my own personal hero's journey as a reference point to show you where it's at and to kind of give you a communication so that you have a guideline on what's possible. After we go through this, we're going to break off and let you all kind of work on this for the rest of the time, and then we're going to be grabbing you all one by one, bringing you inside virtual reality to actually go and practice on leveling up some of your skills in there. It will be like yesterday, but different. It will be outside of the game of restaurants and hospitality and more in the game of life. One thing I'll say on this is you can get power from the pit, but you can also get power from the peaks. Some people think that, I only get strength from the good things in my life, but the deeper and darker you're willing to go in life and the more vulnerable you are, that strengthens you to actually rise up and become stronger. All right, so with that being said, this present to you is called the Hero's Map. So when I show you a different thing, you can write down just the title, and then we'll roll through this. So you can see below that it says your name. Your name is right. Your name is right there, right? So next you're gonna put down the personality type. We're gonna go a little bit higher. Personality type. Everyone's got their names and personality types. Just raise your hand. Say like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes when you're going through the levels of life, it's nice to check off that level 1 done. Right? Personality type done. So you got that personality type. Bam. Next, all of you look through your strengths, right? And you've listed out each one of your strengths. Does it feel like those strengths resonate with who you are to a degree?
Yeah.
Maybe not everything, but somewhat. Yeah. Yeah, can I get a yeah from everybody that feels good?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Woo! All right. I'm gonna ask for a little Ric Flair action later on. If you don't know what that is. My people. Okay, next. Ooh, there we go. Weaknesses. Right? It's easy to talk about our strengths. It is more difficult to talk about our weaknesses. Think about social media. Think about talking to friends. Think about talking about everything else. Everybody wants to talk about how awesome they are. Nobody wants to talk about how much they suck. The odd and funny and ironic thing in life is this. People don't relate to how awesome you are. People relate to how much you suck. I struggle with this. I struggle with spelling. I do. He laughs because he knows it's true. All right? And one of my big challenges, me and Mr. Webster, we aren't friends too much. But it's okay. I'm a person. It's okay to be real. All right? So, everyone, can I get a Ric Flair if you guys have listed all your weaknesses? Woo! Woo! Yeah? All right. Cool. All right, we're gonna go to the next section, which is peaks. We did the peaks and valleys exercise. Again, part of the strengths are usually part of your peaks. If you actually take a look at your strengths and you take a look at some of your peaks, they're usually a corollary of one of two things. Usually a corollary of A, something I'm awesome at, aka I'm great at video games, or I'm really good at connecting with people, right? I'm really good at standing up for people. I'm really good at expressing myself, right? Really good at having people have a good time, right? Those are strengths. Those are probably key moments in your life that you realize that this is something I'm good at. That reinforcement allows you to say, I enjoy this and I'm good at it. I should invest more time in it. Thus, you leveled up those strengths. Part of personality types is the fact that when I get a decision to make in life, I go left or I go right. That is a personality type, right? Do I choose the hard path or do I choose the easy path? Do I choose the fold or do I choose the rise? Do I choose the lie or do I choose to tell the truth? These are all essences of what makes up a personality type. So, peaks. Those are peaks. Same thing we now have is valleys. Probably didn't spell that right. So,
You didn't. He didn't.
we're coming through on this one, aren't we? I'm being honest here, and you're going to see me get real honest in this, right? Because I'm going to show you it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to express yourselves. It's okay not to be perfect, right? And it's okay to ask for help. Yeah. So valleys, right? Valleys are usually points where A, something that you suck at, one of your weaknesses. If you look, you all take a moment to look at your weaknesses and take a look at your valleys and see if there's a corollary. Just corollary means is there something that's similar in those two things. Or a valley is when one of your values, like loyalty, gets violated, like trust gets violated, like any of these other values that you have, like maybe you're all about growth. A valley could be the fact that you're not allowed to grow. Right? These are valleys in your life. They're not moments to dwell or be upset about it. They're learning lessons. Again, you get strengths in these things. You understand yourself better by understanding your valleys. These valleys are points in your life where you can see, oh wow, this is something that means something to me, right? I can choose to get stronger because of this. I can choose a better path because of this. I can choose not to hang out with these friends. I can stand up to have, as Chris would say, my friend who's choosing to be a drunk driver. He carved a new neural pathway yesterday. By him standing up to his friends, and Chris said this earlier, right, Chris? Chris said this. Yesterday, there was one of my friends who was drinking, and he was going to get in a car and drive. Quad? What's it called, a quad? Four-wheeler. Four-wheeler. And drive. And he goes, normally, I would choose to not say anything. But I stood up, and I said it. And I told him, hey, you can't do that. He chose a new path. He carved a new route in his brain. His neural pathways became more defined. And now, in his own mind, he gained just a little more belief in himself that I am the hero of my own story. I choose to stand up for the right thing. All right? Great job, Chris. It's powerful. Good share. So, the next thing, which again, this is going to give you some time, and we'll break off after this and let you all go deep into your own caves of solitude and figure out how to go deep in what is your current self. Who are you right now as a person? Right? Who are you and how do you relate to this world? What does that look like? Right? That's a deeper question. You all took time to find out personality, strengths, weaknesses, peaks, and valleys. All of those things, your personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, your peaks, and your valleys, all led you up to where you are right now. And as Matt was saying earlier, the longer you live, the more peaks and valleys you go through. We're all going to go through peaks. We're all going to go through valleys. Doesn't matter who we are or where we're at. But in order to understand where you want to go, you first have to get really, really, really clear on where you are now. Everybody. All right. I think it looks like Alexa wants to get in on this conversation. So everybody wants to talk about how awesome they're going to be, right? Nobody wants to talk about how they suck right now. Problem is, in order for you to get awesome later, you got to deal with the how you suck right now part. Fact of life. It's like a GPS in a car, right? You can't say, oh, I want to get over to like downtown. I want to get over to one of the Domio Hotel where we're staying at. It's great. GPS is like, sure. Where you at? And you're like, I don't know where I'm at. Then you can't get to where you're going. It's one half of the battle. It's so easy to say, this is where I want to go. Where you at? Current self. Next is what we talked about, the Holy Grail. A lot of these conversations we've talked about with you all is like, what are you doing? Like, in terms of like, what's the big win for you? At the end of this, and there's various holy grails we go through life, right? With me, with the food truck business, was to eventually sell it and get out of there, right? Which we did. Built up a business. Well, actually, first, got out of just a hotel's hospitality. I was a bellman, concierge, just figuring out life. Jumped into a food truck with no experience whatsoever. Went on that whole hero's journey. Crashed and burned and then built myself back up. Sold that business and got into VR. Start that hero's journey all over again. And now we're in a place where we do a lot of things that we want to do right now, which is beautiful, but there's constant cycles of this journal that you go through life, right? And only you can divine them because, as we said before, you are both the player in the game of life and you are the dungeon master, which is awesome and sucks at the same time. Because you got to map your quests, you got to map your journey, you got to map your paths, but you also then got to be the player and you got to do the hard work. And you got to be honest with yourself, because if the game's broken and you lie to yourself, you can't play the game, you ain't gonna go anywhere, right? So, getting really clear on what do you like, what's the holy grail for you? What's that prize, you know? And then beyond that is, what's your fuel and your fire? AKA, what's your motivation, right? You might say, oh, that's a destination. I want to be president of the United States. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be an amazing dancer. Why? Why? You want money? Great. I know a lot of people that have a lot of money that aren't happy at all. At the end of the day, money, yeah, if you don't have money, it's really shitty. It's great. But then what else is going to keep you going? When you get out of bed and then you have that old neural pathway, that old pattern, that plain small, well, I'm just going to go on and jump and play video games. I'm just going to hang out with my friends. I'm just going to do this again. You need to have some sort of fuel and fire that will carry you on to where you want to go. Something that you're doing that's bigger and deeper than your old patterns. Because your old patterns is like a gravity well. It's keeping you down. It's keeping you small. It's keeping you in order to get out of the gravity of your old patterns, you need enough rocket fuel and fire to lift off and get past that old pattern. Because here's the thing, you can't get to where you're going and be who you are. You gotta let your ego die, which means there's some piece of you you've got to kill. Metaphorically speaking, you've got to actually let that character go in your life to level up. You can't be a level 1 character and a level 10 character at the same time. They're not the same. And that's one of the hard things. The only way to do that is being able to have something that you can pull on to say, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm doing it. Could be your family, could be your friends, could be your loved ones, could be the fact that it could be both pain and pleasure, right? It could be both peaks and valleys. But really getting clear on that is going to be important to you. Again, this is why we're going to give you time to go through this. It's very important, but you really need to define that for yourself, because here's the thing. I'm not your dungeon master, right? I'm merely guiding the path of what you got. You're the guys who are the dungeon masters in your game of life, and this is up to you to figure out. Level of commitment. Once you look at your fuel and your fire, you're going to actually define what's your level of commitment. We'll say 1 to 5, right? If you say, oh, I want money. Okay, great. Is that 1 to 5, right? If things get hard, if everything comes against you, you hurt your leg, your parents get mad, things get heavy, is that really a deep motivator? How do you, and if it's a 1 or a 2 or 3, how do you get it to a 5, right? Then go back to your fuel and fire and be like, you know what? I need to find some more shit. I need to find deeper reasons to actually get that up higher. Because if you, honestly, because a lot of people go, oh, this is great. But again, you have this paper armor, somebody cuts you and you're full, right? You go into the restaurant business, you go to Commander's Palace, one guest comes and yells at you, you can't take it and you quit, right? Looks like your level of commitment's not gonna be strong. You gotta look at that and be like, what is gonna keep me in it, right? If things get hard, if the whole world is against me, because it's so easy to be like, I'm gonna do this when things are great. It's when things are hard that really, really stop you, right? That is the challenge, right? So look at your level of commitment. Be honest with yourself. The only way you're going to actually get to where you want to go is being honest with yourself. Is it really a 5? Are you really a 5? So that means you get out of bed every morning, you put all your bullshit away, and you level up everything. Is it really 5 or is it 4? Is it 3? It's okay, but you need to know where you're at to know where you want to get to, right? Honesty and clarity. Karmic circle, aka the barrier of growth. The way this works is you have a character. You have a character here, right? This is you, right? You want to get to your level B. You go, oh, I'm going to get up here, I'm going to get up here. You want to get here? But then some sort of bullshit pulls you right back to here, right? You're like, oh, I want to go to school, I want to work, actually, I want to go get a job. So you go up this way, and you're like, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to do these things. But you know what? It's so much easier to play video games, right? I'm not against video games, I make video games, right? It's all good. I'm just picking a thing. It could be anything in the world, but there is something preventing you to where you want to go, and that's that barrier of growth. And if you look at your weaknesses, if you look at your weaknesses on your personality types, you can see what's causing you to play small. Exclamation point. So if you look at that, you can see what is the true barrier. What is your karmic circle? Because in order to level up, you've got to basically, over here, you've got to kill this option to keep going to B. And then the thing is, this is your box, right? Your next box is B. But here's the thing, later on in life, for me, all I want to do was get out of the hotel business. I just want to have my own business, right? So I was the hotel business here. I was like, damn, I want to get out of here. What the hell do I need to go? So I went from that to here. And I said, you know what? I just want to do that. So finally, I opened my own food truck. And I have long stories about messing up, jacking up, running out of money, terrible, terrible things, right? As Matt would tell you, he was there for it. And so, but we figured it out. And it's another story for another time. But I said, you know what? I'm sick of this. I've gone through this path. I know how to do it. I've mastered the food truck business. I want something more, right? The whole point of life is once you get money, you're not going to be happy with that. Because every time, it's all about growth in life. The more growth you get in life, the more satisfied you are. If you just get to the next level and you just stop there, you're not going to be happy. That's why is it the most famous people commit suicide? They get to the top, they hit a ceiling, they don't feel like there's any more growth. There's nothing else they're doing it for. There's no reasons, there's no motivation, there's no fuel, there's no fire. They stop, right? So what's going to keep you growing? My next level was like, well, I love food, but you know what I also love? I love building experiences. I love virtual reality. And I wanted to become a VR developer, right? And so I had to let go of the food truck. I sold that food truck, something that was easy, something that would be, the difficult things become comfortable. And then basically you gotta go from here to here to here. So what is that karmic circle? Otherwise, you're just gonna keep doing this, right? Over and over and over again. That's gonna be it. So, do you have to ask yourself this question? And this is usually around your weaknesses or some real truth. What's the cave you fear to enter, right? What is the difficult conversation you're afraid to have with yourself or other people? If you stood in the mirror and looked at yourself and said, look, I'm going to be honest with myself right now. I don't like where I'm at. I don't like where my mind's at. I don't like where my body's at. I don't like where my spirit's at. I don't like where my creativity's at. I don't know where I'm at, and I don't like it. What is that honesty that you need to have with yourself? And then look at the people in your life, right? Who are the people you need to have those honest conversations with? Because here's the thing, when you go to have that honest conversation, you'd be like, nope, 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 nope. You know what, I'll have it another day, right? But Chris over here, he took that one honest conversation. He goes, you know what, normally I do this. I just stay in my box, I don't say anything. I don't say anything. But now, he gained a little belief point, a little belief in himself to be the hero. And next time, he has another opportunity. When that situation comes up, he goes, I've done it before, I can do it again. And that's the whole reason why we're putting you in VR. You're building experience points. You're building up that paper armor, turning it into real armor by actually going through these difficult conversations. Now, this is level 1 stuff. We're helping it be easy for you right now. But when we're not here, and you're by yourself, and it's alone, and 6 months from now, it's going to get real, real hard, right? So what is that barrier to growth, and what's that cave you fear to enter? And this what leads us up to the last piece of the puzzle. Then we're going to go into my stuff, and you can see what I got. Heroic future self. At the end of the day, it's not what you get, it's who you become to get what you want to get. You have to, whatever it is you want to do, whatever grand visions you have, you're not going to get it as you are right now, right? You will become more at some point to become and get what you want to get, right? You're not going to be that millionaire. You're not going to open up 10 restaurants. You're not going to be any of those things. You have to become better. You got to look at your skills and go, what do I suck at? Where am I at? Where am I at? And then you go, that's where I want to go? Okay, what's going to keep my fuel and fire moving, right? What's going to keep that moving? And then you've got to let go of all the bullshit in your life to move forward, right? All those things that terrify you. The things, if you want to level up quickly, find the things that you most terrify and run through them with just absolutely ruthlessness. Because there are things that are like, I'm good at this, and then you stay in those areas, and then you only get good at that. And you just, your A box just expands, and that's all it is, it's just A. But if you want to get farther along, you've got to change who you are. Matt?
Just to elaborate on that point, everybody feels the feeling of fear when the hard things come up. You have to adapt to take that feeling and head towards that fear. The cave you fear to enter lies the treasure you seek, always. So just keep that in mind going forward, because bravery comes from that. Bravery is a skill. It is probably one of the most important going into your life. So,
Beautifully said, sir. cave you fear the enter lies the treasure you seek. If you don't know where to go, just think, what do I fear the most? There's your guidance. That's your little compass that lets you know where to go. You don't want to go that way, but there lies your treasure.
Can I just add to that? So courage is not necessarily a roar, like, every time. So courage is when you fall down and you get back up and you do it again the next day.
All the way to get better. So, I'm gonna run you through my bits and pieces here. Look at little Dylan. It's little Dylan right there. The little guy. Whoop. All right. Woo. So that's me. My personality type is the advocate. So my quote is treat people as if they were that and that they ought to be, and you help them to become what they are capable of being. And that is really my philosophy of life. My whole goal is to level up myself so I can inspire other people to level up themselves in lives. And I treat you all as heroes because you're all heroes, right? Inside of you, there's a little piece of you going, nah, I ain't that. And there's another piece of you going, yeah, I can do that. The question is like, who's gonna win? Whatever you feed is gonna win, right? And so I really do believe that everybody can be a hero. And if we really could do that, if everyone could step up and get past their own bullshit and become better for themselves and people in their lives, we would literally transform this world, right? And that's what I'm here about. And that is my personality type, the advocate. You can go look it up, see it. There's a reason. So me, strengths. Apparently, this is what this says. Creative, insightful, principled, passionate, altruistic. Those are some of the principles that I live by. I need to be in an area of freedom, a place that I can express myself, places where I didn't really do well in the 9-to-5 job, why I wanted to get out of the hotel business, why I became a chef, why I designed virtual worlds, because the area of creativity is what I want. I've studied insightfulness, various reasons, because of my past and things that I'll get into, but there's a reason why apparently it says I am that way. Principled, passionate, and altruistic. These are all things that I live by. These are my strengths. These are the things that I believe in. I believe in standing up for the things I believe in. My team will very much tell you, if I don't feel something, you're gonna know. I'm gonna tell you, right? For better or for worse, I don't run from those things. I'm passionate, I'm principled. This is my strengths. Yeah. What I suck at. All right. Sensitive to criticism. Occasionally I've been known to be a bit defensive. Who would have guessed that?
No
so,
way.
No,
No
see,
way.
No.
As you can tell, they're being completely honest. Reluctant to open up. A lot of times, which is the irony of being an advocate, someone who speaks for the truth, I'm reluctant to open up and share my values. Now, I'm here on stage talking to y'all guys, but it's not easy for me to do this. It's taken me a lot of work and many, many years of getting up on stage over and over again and just beating that weaker victim self into the ground. It is not great, but it's something that I constantly work on. I work on accepting criticism and being open to that, and I work on opening up to people out the gate. So hence why we all have one-on-ones. I've talked with you all, I've shared with you all my peaks and my valleys. These are all things that, by embracing the things that I fear most, helps me level up the quickest. You want to figure out how to level your character in the game of life? Find out what you suck at, don't suck at it anymore. Perfectionism. I spend a lot of time just learning, and I don't spend a lot of time doing. So I'll spend a lot of time figuring things out, but I won't move things to action because everything's got to be perfect, because it can't be wrong. It's got to be right. You don't want to mess it up. It's got to be perfect, right? Sometimes you just got to learn it and go, you know what? I'll figure it out along the way, mess up along the way. And that's, I've taken different steps. Open up a food truck. It took me from concept to launching the food truck. So when I had the idea to actually having a food truck in the street, it took me 90 days. 90 days.
Wow.
From an idea to actually doing it. And that's because I just said, nah, forget it. And my solution was just burning the bridge behind me. Apparently, if you quit your job and just buy it without thinking about it, you've got to figure it out along the way, right? It was 3 months. You're right. It was 3 months. It took 3 months from I saw a great food truck race and I said I could do that. I went and bought a food truck and go, huh? Now what? Right? And that's a whole other story. Avoiding the ordinary. I like to be extraordinary. I like to have grand visions. Pinky, we're gonna take over the world. You know, there's all these ideas I have in my head. The challenge I have with that is that I don't follow the small steps. I don't try to, instead of trying to help just one person at a time, I try to help a million, right? But then because it's not good enough to help that one person. But that's not how you get there. No one gets there that way. It's not how it works. And because of perfectionism and avoiding the ordinary, it keeps me playing small, right? because I won't communicate with people and I won't take feedback, I play small, never get a chance to grow, right? And then prone to burnout, because I'm so obsessed with these things and I put in so much time and so much energy. If I don't focus a lot on self-care, I go crazy. So as my team will tell you, I have a religious activities that I do in the morning. I am ruthlessly committed to self-care. Every day I get up super early, and everyone knows it. I have my meditation, I have my green drinks, I have my emotional journaling, I have all the stuff that I do. Because if I don't do that, I go crazy. I am not the type of person I want to be if I don't do those things I need to do. So I know I need to take care of those things so I can take care of everything else. If I don't put on my own oxymash first, it's not great. Because if you want to see me be bad, don't let me work out, don't let me do my green drink, don't let me do any of the meditation things I need to do, and give me that for about a month. Completely different person. We all feel differently. If you're feeling bad, go run 10 miles. Come back and tell me how you feel. You're like, ugh.
So basically you're saying like, you follow a routine?
I follow a self-care routine because it's one of the things that I sucked at. Because I'm prone to burnout, I need to basically armor up for the day. The way that I armor up with my body, my mind, my spirit, my soul, my everything, is I do that through a series of routines and activities that I've developed through a number of years to make sure that I've got enough armor on so when I go for 12 hours in a day, I can completely re-armor up and I've got enough energy to carry me through. All right, so these are my weaknesses. I've worked on them in various ways, shapes, and forms. So peaks and valleys. I won't go too on this because I've already shared a lot with this with all of you on this one. Valleys, poetry shame, brothers making fun of me. I'm an advocate, shaming me, making me play small, hiding up my voice. That caused a lot of pain. I'm an advocate, and so I was being shamed for that. Water slide moment, collaborating with my friends, achieving something I didn't think I could do. It was amazing. Jail, not fun. Restricted freedom. Longer story, but again, you guys all know it. Starting a food truck, failing a food truck, selling a food truck, right? We know, right? But again, it's one of those things that it trained me. One of the things that it taught me with that, one of the patterns that I developed, is I can step into something like I didn't really know how to cook when I started. And when I didn't know how to cook when I started, I had to figure it out. But then when I got into the food truck business, I got into the food truck business, or the virtual reality business, I was like, well, if I was able to figure that out with a burger, I can figure that out with some software. I trained my brain to realize that it's okay if I don't know it, I'm gonna figure it out, right? So that's my peaks and my valleys. Current self. So these are all the things I try to stop, take a look at it, pros, cons, ups, downs, lefts, rights. I'll read you. I'm a designer. I build things, I design things. Well, I don't build them, I design them, other people build them. The Cafe Home Talk Tank is the thing that I designed. I worked with Nina, we co-created it, and I built the design, and our team created it and built the experience. I present in person. I do a lot of in-person presentations. I'm engaged to Tanya. Hey, Tanya. CEO of the VR Studio. I'm a podcaster. I run the Heroes of Reality podcast, inspiring people to be the heroes of their own lives and stories. Right? Nina will be on there. Louis will be on there. Best friend of Matt. Hey, Matt. Hey, buddy. Not on here, but work with Drew. Another good friend. Struggles with criticism. Fear of being labeled as stupid. When I was younger, my brothers made fun of me a bunch. They were 8 years older, 10 years older, so they constantly insulted me and battered me in physical and verbal abuse. And so I spent a lot of time learning a bunch of shit so that I could do battle with them, right? Because they were way, way smarter than me because they had, 8 years and 10 years older than me. So when I was 8, they're 18, right? It was a battle. So it's part of the things that you take my personality type and put in that environment, hence I become an advocate, right? And so you look at that, fear of being labeled stupid. Constant learner, and then slow to take big steps and act publicly. Because I'm afraid to get hurt, because I'm afraid of this, because the true advocate in me wants to come out and say these things and say, here's what I stand for, but don't hurt me. You know, that's the inner civil war that I have inside of me, and I understand that right now, those are the things that I have on both the pros and the cons, and where I'm at right now as myself. Does that make sense to everybody as a thing, right? Can you all right now think, just pause for a second, just think about who your current self, the pros, the cons, how you relate to you, your life, word play, all that stuff. Right. Holy Grail. All right. Holy Grail. To build a highly profitable company that uses VR tech to inspire, entertain, and transform the user into their heroic self. As you can tell, we're all here today the thing I inspire to do is I love building experiences with my friends. Years ago, I had a dream of just being in a workshop, tinkering, building things, and passing things along for them to develop and build and create. I'm now at a point in my life where I actually do those things. A lot of it's for entertainment, marketing activations, brand activations, things like that. But ultimately, building virtual reality experiences to help people have fun, be inspired, and transform themselves into who they want to become is what I'm all about. And doing that with my friends ticks all my buckets. Right? That's just something that brings life to me. If you read my personality type, you'll find out that's kind of what I'm all about. And make it profitable. A lot of times with people who want to do good and make good and things like that, they forget the whole profit side of things. Right? They're like, oh, I want to make the world best. But then they're poor because they're afraid to ask for the sale. They're afraid to do those things. They're afraid to step in and own that part of themselves. Right? Because they're constantly giving to other people, they won't give themselves. They won't give themselves. And they'll basically be the poor wise man who's sitting on a street corner who's got a lot of smart shit to tell you, but don't know how to get their own life together. Right? So a highly profitable company that uses the Inspire. It's a key element. Otherwise, you're going to go through different stages of development. Longer conversation. Fuel and fire. To build a life and a company I love with the people I love, for the people I love. To feel a sense of significance by connecting others to their hearts and their community. Right? I love doing these things. I do these things because it excites me. It brings me joy. I feel a sense of significance and self-worth by helping you discover who you are inside and how you relate to the world. I love doing it with my friends. I love spending time with my friends. I spent a week here as we were getting started, as we were trying to figure out our rhythm. Matt was on his honeymoon. Our team had talked for a week, and I got a whole lot of anxiety. Like, I like to be connected. I like to have conversations. I like to see what's going on. And so for me to build things I love, with the people I love, for the people I love, that is my fuel and fire. And that's what gets me to do it. Sometimes if I don't want to get out of bed, I go, well, in order for me to be a better leader, lover, and friend, I need to do this for Tanya. I need to do this for Matt, for Drew, for Nina. Those are the things that get me going. My words, 4 words, and it came to me in a vision, it's a long conversation, is for them I am. For them I am strong enough. For them I am worth it. For them I am capable. For them I am enough, right? That's my statement. That's what gets me going, and that's my fuel, and that's my fire. So my commitment level is a 5. I believe it's a 5. Maybe it's a 4, but for me, I get up every day, I grind on everything, I feel like it's a 5. And I am on fire with this stuff. So, because I do everything I love, and once you start to get progress in the areas that you're passionate about, it lights that fire beneath you. Karmic circle, playing small, not speaking my voice, constantly learning and perfecting and not acting. Those are the areas that keep me small. So if I don't speak my true voice, I go, oh, I don't want to cause waves. I just want people to like me. I'm not going to say a thing. Oh, you know what? I need to read one more book. I need to write down one more idea. I just need to do one more. This is not quite perfect, right? Right? Versus just going, you know what? I'm enough. I figured out enough. Let's step forward. Let's get feedback. Let's get information. Let's accept that criticism, and let's get bigger. All the things I fear to enter, all my weaknesses, are the things that I need to do to level up my skills. Which is the cave I fear to enter. Sharing my hopes, my dreams, my fears, my loves online or very publicly. As you can tell, there's cameras being recorded right now. All you guys are seeing this. This is a growth moment for me. These are moments to step into these situations, right? I practice what I preach, right? These are things. Sharing my hopes, my dreams, my fears, my loves online. If you do that, if you put your arms out, right? Like when I was trained when I was younger, if I put my arm out, someone would make fun of me. Someone would hit me. Someone would hurt me, right? But understanding that I am enough to take it, I can put my hand out there publicly online and I can take it. Opening up first and embracing criticism. I'm sure that something here sucks. I welcome it. Come talk to me. It might sting a little bit on the inside, but I know I'm enough to take it, and I know I can learn, I can grow, and I can figure this out, right? That is the cave I fear to enter. If you look at all this stuff publicly online, if you look at my advocacy role, this is the thing I love to do, but I'm also greatly terrified of it. But again, the cave you fear to enter lies the treasure you seek. So, heroic future self, online advocate, publicly open, emotionally resilient to criticism. This is who I need to become in order to have the life I want. If I want to be able to build an amazing company, if I want to be able to actually build awesome things with my friends that transforms people, I need to be willing to put my message out there. I need to be willing to share my thoughts, my hopes, my dreams online as publicly as possible, right? And it's going to come. No matter, you could be anybody. You could be Mother Teresa. There's going to be some YouTuber who's talking shit on you. Just is, right? But being emotionally resilient and being willing to put it out there, that's how you grow the most. At least for me and my personality type. So in order for me to get my holy grail and become who I need to become, this is my heroic future self. An online advocate, publicly open and emotionally resilient to criticism, right? So this is what I define. You look at all this stuff. This is the hero's map, right? This is the hero's map to get to where you want to go. You have a goal in mind, you need to be someone for that. In order to do that, you need to understand where you're at. You need to know what got you here. You need to know what stopped you from getting to where you want to need to go. You need to find out the fire and the fuel that's going to get you there. And you need to be willing to enter the cave you fear most so that you can level up your skills in the game of life to become that person, to get that holy grail you want, right? This is the hero's map. This is all the stuff we've been working with you on. You've all done one-on-ones with us. You've had conversations. You have part of your journey mapped down. You've already ticked off several of these buckets right now. But the deeper and the more honest you're willing to be with yourself, you get more out of this. The deeper and more honest you're willing to be with us, you get more out of this, right? We're going to bring you into VR. We're going to give you an opportunity to say, what is the cave you fear the most? Here's the thing. This is level 1 safe space, right? We're here. Everyone here loves you. Everybody here supports you. Everybody here believes in you, right? But if you're not willing to share the thing you fear the most and practice it in a safe place, there is no way you're going to do it in the game. There's no way in real life, in the game of life, where you're going to get out there and say, you know what, I'm really afraid to have this conversation. No, you shouldn't have that drive. No, you shouldn't do this. No, I have more respect for myself and I will not do this, right? If you can't do it here, you can't do it with us, you're going to train your brain to avoid this and you're going to constantly play small. So the question is this, do you want to be the hero of your own story? This is the steps and the ways to do it. So thank you so much. My name is Dylan. You guys all have journeys. Please, I'd like to open this up for any questions that you have, things that you feel are not clear, or what you need to do next, because this is what we have mapped out for you. So, questions, anybody? Feedback? Criticism? Good? No? Is it all clear? Give me 2 claps and a woo if it's clear. Woo! All right. Well then
Could we have like a list of like the things to fill out?
Did everybody write these down in their things? All these things? Everybody write them down?
Everybody got that down? Yeah? Everybody got it down? Cool. So here's the expectations. So this is expectations for you. We want you to fill this out. We're going to give you time today to fill this out. I will be coming by tomorrow, and I will have one-on-ones with each of you to have a conversation about this to kind of see where you're at. Again, I want to make sure you guys are okay. I want to make sure you guys are clear on this, and want to give you the opportunity to step into your heroic self. Here's the thing. Part of being a hero is the fact that I can't make you jump. If I take you and I throw you out that door, that's not you being a hero. That's me being a bully, right? And so, in order for this you have to take your own steps. It has to be your choice. At the end of the day, a hero has to make their own choice to go into battle, right? So, my expectation is this. At some point today or tomorrow, I will grab you, we will go through it, and I want you to have it filled out. If not, we'll spend some time to fill it out, and then we'll also grab you to do one-on-ones for VR. Matt.
If you guys have any questions about this, you guys get stuck. You have me, you have Drew, you have Tom, you have Dylan. Reach out to us anytime today, and we'll sit down with you and we can go through this. I know it's a lot of information, and sometimes some of it's going to be kind of hard to kind of spew out, but if you need to talk it out, we're here for you, okay?
Yeah, guys, and ultimately, the more you fill out on this, and the more details and the deeper that you dig, it's going to allow us to get into these one-on-one VR conversations to bring those strengths out of you, right? So if you can admit what your weaknesses are, then we can put you in VR and we can fix them, right? We can practice and get better, and it's only gonna benefit you.
There is not one personality type that says, no, weakness is completely perfect. It does not exist. It's not a thing, right? If you're good at one thing, you're bad at another. That's how it goes, but you can work on it. But I do want to give this, I want to give a chance to have your voice be heard. So I'm going to go across, I'm going to pick you guys, and all I want to hear is this, basically, what did you hear me say, and where you at, right? Does that make sense? Does anybody want to go first? Any takers want to say, what did you hear me say, and where you at? Tanya.
What I heard you say is we should go through these steps and really dig deep and think about our own selves and write them down. And where I'm at is I have some things filled out, but I don't have all of them, so I'm going to write them
You're on the journey, my friend. Josh.
Like listen your weaknesses and your strengths and your journey to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then you can work on your strengths and your weaknesses more to see where you're at right now.
Understand who you're at and where you are. It helps you get to where you want to go. 100%. Fully next, then Twilight. Just open up hands first.
Reflecting on where we're at, understanding it, and growing from it, and building that armor.
Yep. Reflecting and understanding who you are helps you build up that army of yours. Twilight next, then Chris.
Face what you fear the most.
Yeah. It's a very simple, very powerful, and very difficult, you know? It's like, how do I get in shape? Diet and exercise. Ah. Yeah. Chris.
Basically, I heard you say, like, you basically broke everything down, like, step by step on what, you know, you need to do to, like, break open, get everything out, like, just describing different things for get what you want in life, and just succeed and just follow step by step on how to go forward and just breaking everything down.
Got it. Yeah, understand.
Well,
Something like what Chris said, it's like the stuff, this is what I get out of it. This is like a step by step on figuring out who you are and what you need to do and what you need to work on and what you're already good at.
100%. And finally, Terry.
Weakness. We have weaknesses and we need to handle them or fix them.
Yeah.
well, beautiful said.
Okay.
Actually, I want to go too.
Sure.
I really resonated with the for them I am statement that you made. Basically, what I got from it is like, if I can't admit and face my weaknesses and fears, I can't provide others my strengths. So that resonated a ton with me. So I appreciate you saying that.
100%. What was that?
I'm not gonna piggyback on that.
Yeah.
You said that you can't be for people that like that. You can't be for them at your fullest. That's a true friend. So.
Yeah, you can't be your heroic self, right?
You can't like improve yourself and make yourself better in the knowledge of your weaknesses.
Yeah.
You can't be your fullest of your friend.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You're supposed to be self. Matt?
And like basically through the whole exercise, this exercise is about another thing about getting vulnerable. And the more vulnerable you are with yourself, with others, the more stronger you can become by understanding your vulnerabilities and building upon them. So it's a very beautiful exercise.
And not being ashamed of your vulnerability. I mean, that's a big, part
I agree.
of addressing it.
That shame around your vulnerability is so powerful. You're right. That's the thing that keeps everybody small. Because what creates guilt and shame? Keeping it in, right? If you keep it in, versus you say, I can't spell, everybody. I can't. It's okay. It's okay, right? Get it out there.
So one important thing I didn't really listen to is like which I basically said, but like just accepting the fact that you do wrong, but you determine it's right, and also too just like the body armor, building that body armor, building the self confidence, making yourself feel comfortable with situations, and just making yourself feel better, like just being in a better position and getting a better insight on what to do.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Beautifully put.
You're all feeling this. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your attention. And thank you so much for just showing up and putting the energy forth. I feel all of your energies. I can feel you all. Lee, I appreciate you turning towards me when we were going through this conversation. I could feel you become engaged, right? And you all have been leveling up. We spent just a little bit of time with you, and you've already made so much growth. In life, it's not about how old you are. It's about how much experience you can get. You can take a guy who's 40 years old, who still lives at his mom's house and has never done anything big. You can take one guy who went off to war, has gone through so much trouble and strife, and he can be more mature at the age of 19 than that 40-year-old is, right? How much you're willing to put into life is how much you're willing to get out of life, right? So it's not about age, it's about experience points, right? And that's what we're here to help you with. So with that being said, we're going to conclude this meeting. We're going to wrap this up. You guys all take time. If you need to do it in here, great. If you need to go out there, if you need to find a safe place to go write down information, As long as you stay within the walls of Sides Cafe Hope, completely permissible. But think about this. This is your time to think. Be with yourself. Inside you, you have a guiding voice. And so with that, I want you to just think about this. We're gonna wrap this up with a heart head meditation and go, what is my inner voice trying to tell me? And we're gonna meditate on what is my inner voice trying to tell me. So put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your head, and meditate and listen to your heart. And breathe it in and go, what's my voice trying to tell me? In and out. Connect with your heart. And in and out. What's my voice trying to tell me? And in and out. Quiet the mind, open the heart, and in and out. One last one, the biggest and deepest so far. Quiet the mind, and in. Hold. And out. Thank you all for your time. This has been a hearing map.
Namaste.
Namaste.